And now April Preyar, she's a Chicago-based defense attorney, not affiliated with this case. Of course, though, April, you have been following along from the very beginning. We do want to say that you are a criminal defense attorney, but tonight we're going to kind of have you play defense and prosecution on this. We want to try to get both sides here. What do you think about Jussie taking the stand today? Do you think that helped or hurt his case?
So I have been fortunate enough to be in the courtroom every day of the trial, and this was the moment everybody was hoping would come. He had a right to testify or not to testify, but we were all hoping he'd testify. And personally, they're not far into the cross-examination right now, but I think he's holding his own because you got to realize he has a lot going for him. Aside from the celebrity, he's a nice-looking guy. He presents well. He speaks well. He's dressed well. He has his entire family there supporting him, and the jurors have been able to see that the entire time. And aside from that, his defense attorney, Mr. Uche, went into, okay, and who's this person? Is this your mom? And how many siblings do you have? And what are their names? And where do you fall? And so he did a good job of laying out Jussie's family life and his background. So I think he definitely, thus far, is holding his own, even in the cross-examination. I don't think the cross has been very strong. I don't think they've done a lot of damage thus far. So most of the cross will probably happen tomorrow. The judge was determined to break at 6 o'clock today, probably so they could handle some technical things like the jury instructions and such, and then come back and start right at 9 or 9:30 tomorrow.
Okay, so you say that you don't really think the cross was strong, but we know from what we heard today, it really is basically a tale of two completely different stories here. Do you think that the evidence really tips the scale in one direction or another so far?
I do. I don't know that it's two totally different stories. I think the brothers admit that they beat Jussie up. And so I keep saying it's either the story of 2 dumb criminals or the story of 3 dumb criminals. And so, and like Jussie's brother said, it would be pretty silly to pay somebody with a check and leave a paper trail to say, I'm paying you to beat me up. And I think, again, the defense did a good job of laying out that this is what people pay for trainers, and this is what the $3,500 was for, and going through that. But I don't think the stories are really that different. I think it's a matter of, was Jussie in on the scheme or not? And despite us seeing all these different surveillance images and ring camera screenshots,
because there were some text messages that can be
even if there's no smoking gun, there's nothing to say, yes, we agreed to this together, or these are the steps that we're going to take, or this is the time that we're going to meet. So yes, was Jussie friends with the younger brother, Bola? Absolutely. Did they have correspondences back and forth? And I think Jussie's done a good job of explaining away the on the low text, which was about, the prosecution says that that was the text to set up this conversation about this scheme. And then he says, no, I was trying to get him to buy me a supplement that's not allowed in the United States, that is allowed in Nigeria. So like I said, I think he's done pretty well thus far. We'll see how the prosecution does tomorrow.
So you mentioned that you think, your words, either 2 dumb criminals or 3. But speaking of that, not exactly along those same lines, though. Smollett's lawyers, though, suggesting a 3rd person may have been involved in this attack. Police, though, never mentioned anything about a possible 3rd attacker. Do you think this is a wise strategy, considering, police have not suggested this based on the police reports, et cetera, et cetera?
I think it could be, because the one thing that Jussie said all along is he only saw the one attacker who was in front of him. He didn't see who was behind him. He didn't know who put the rope around his neck, and he was only able to see the people as they ran off. So in order to explain away the white skin that he says that he saw around the eyes of the attacker who had on the ski mask, perhaps there was a 3rd attacker. And that's the best way to probably explain it away, since the 2 people who attacked him are both of darker complexion.
All right, last question for you, April. So testimony continues tomorrow. How long do you think it's going to take a jury to deliberate? We want you to predict, and I know it's really not fair, but what would you say based on your experience?
Oh, boy. I can't even imagine. I think that it'll depend on how early in the day the judge sends them out. So if they go out earlier in the day, then they might come back by close of business with a verdict. I don't think this will be something that takes them several days to deliberate. If he sends them out at 5, or he likes to go till 8 o'clock. So if you send them out at 5 o'clock, they might come back and rush to judgment just to get out of there.
Yeah, there. All right. April Preyar, you are a criminal defense attorney. We also kind of had you playing prosecution tonight. We appreciate you sharing your expertise. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.